Although Diaz altered Mexico's course through his ideals of modernization, he also hindered the country through the corruption of his political regime. In power for over 30 years, the elections that occurred were not democratic. After changing the Constitution to allow for re-election and constantly badgering the Congress to allow him for more terms, Diaz won with overwhelming majority for each election and often had little opposition. With the leadership style of the big man in charge, Diaz believed that Mexico could not afford political conflicts and still have economic growth. He coined the phrase little politics and lots of administration. The people had little say, and whatever Diaz wanted went. He was able to corrupt those he worked closely with, turning them against each other so that they would not band together and work against him. His cabinet was able to withstand the years of the regime due to his scared straight mentality. All of his ideals often hurt those in poverty, and the management, government, courts, and the church were all aligned against labor. Workers who joined unions were punished, and strikes were made illegal. A law was passed making it a crime for anyone to attempt to change wages. Diaz did not have to please the working class, the poor, because when elections came around, only the wealthy truly had a say. As long as America was helping with Mexican trade and the Mexican wealthy class was backing him, Diaz did not intend on moving towards democracy. Favoring the foreign investors, subsidies were offered to railway companies building in Mexico. In order to keep other capitalists' support for economic growth and stay in office, he offered high-ranking officials and his opponents bribes, and he often imprisoned and killed those who spoke against him. The traitors were caught by a secret police, seen as a violation of rights. Strikes were suppressed with violence and military force. Eventually, the corruption caught up to Diaz. With the Depression from 1906 to 1907, the crop failure starting in 1907, and the growing unrest within social classes, Diaz's regime had run its course. Under the Treaty of Ciudad Juarez, Diaz agreed to step down and was exiled to Paris, where he later died.